Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. What have we all learned this year? Well, me, quite a bit, as always. Naturally, following the abrupt departure from my workplace, I trusted when they said that they would automatically do everything they need doing, like, for example, informing the pension stakeholders, suppliers of my departure, so I can make new arrangements. Well, it's been 9 weeks, and I just found out they haven't even bothered sending an email saying this dude has left. Always have to learn over and over again when you depend on others that promise you the world. You just can't believe them. People call me a skeptic. Well, this is the reason why. I've learned that being skeptical when it comes to these things, you really just are on your own. And it's frustrating. But another mini lesson learned, that's just life.
Și de-astea, de uscat. Super!
Crăciun fericit
Mulțumesc!
de la Isha.
Mulțumesc, să rămână!
E de bijuterie.
Da! Dar
Thank you!
a făcut-o ea, e personalizată.
Da?
Asta a făcut de ea?
Da?
Wow, ce frumos!
Super!
Big artist!
Extraordinar.
Splendid!
Bravo!
Splendid! Love, love!
On Christmas Day, I learned that when your car's sunroof says that it is closed, double check that it is closed, because sometimes it's not actually closed, and what happens? You're able to grow fish in your car for sake. Merry Christmas, everyone. Just hope this doesn't get to the Electros, because then we're really fucked. The lesson here, just be more fucking careful, man. Just pay attention. This entire year, all I've done is fuck ups on what I say without thinking or doing without thinking, and then I pay for it. Like this. This is not even the worst. The worst part of being a business owner, corporation tax, your hard-earned money, now you pay it to the government. That's the game, that's the law, there's no way around it. This is a reflection of everything I did as a freelancer in parallel to my job all of last year. Now, all things considered, the way I'm looking at it as a full-time business owner, weirdly, I'm hoping that my corporation tax is going to be bigger next year, because that would mean I have generated more income. I've got this new thinking of looking at stuff, accepting it, and finding ways to turn it into a positive. And on top of that, I learned that returning to my more simpler way of thinking, positive, leaving the worries behind a little bit, it's probably gonna give me a much better quality of life. Let's pay.
So, what we're gonna do tonight? We're gonna go to five locations, alright? You've been promised 4, but we're gonna do 5. I am tired of lying. Do you also mind if we post any good content on social media? Or are you hiding from somebody at home? I don't know, maybe some wives, some husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends. No? Everybody knows you're here?
Everybody knows I'm single.
Amazing. So good content for you.
Я вот себе ногу остро. Оп. Hi, citizens. Cheers, man.
4 years later, I've learned that Bucharest clubs run really, really deep. Like several levels of basement deep. Where the f? Oh yeah, Papa's going great.
But like, it's several days later, and I'm still doing this. Until the shops open after New Year, and Mom can take it, because I will have returned to the UK. Luckily, the important connectors, the electrics, are on that side. So this is fine. Well, it's not fine, but it's as fine as it gets. On the plus side, as it turns out, I remember this happening to me years ago, but not to this extent. And when you Google it, and when you have supporters on Instagram confirming that this just happens to this particular and other Audis, it's chill. So, it was not my fault. It was not the sunroof. It's just this trees. Spiky spikes that fall and block everything. I've learned. But I did learn one thing though, because I had assumed it was my fault. And that is another thing I've been doing for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but particularly the last 2 years badly. I just assume shit. So I've learned, yet again, but this time I promise is the last time, I've learned to stop assuming and use logic. And if I can't, then I stop to take a breath and then resume. I'll watch this from now on to remind myself. All right, let's try and unclog the issues. Mama, ce pe de desubt. The culprits.
In the train, we're going skiing with the day, meeting Trudeau from Batsko. And here's another thing I learned. The Romanian trains use a non-logical numeric system to count or label their carts. We're sitting in cart 1, that is number 22. Behind us is cart 2, which is number 21. But then, after that, cart 3 is labeled 13, cart 4 is labeled 6, and cart 5 is labeled 9. And there's only a total of 7 carts on this train.
Other thing I've learned is to listen better, to stop jumping in and interrupting and assuming and filling in and giving explanations and whatever. Just listen for a little bit of time so I can gauge to understand. And then all conversations would just be quicker and more efficient, I think. And this kind of ties into the stop assuming lesson learned earlier in the video. Hours of queuing, yo. But we finally made it up top in Poiana Brașov. And literally right behind me used to be Cristiano Mare, a big Christian cabin that burned down when I was about 11. Hey! But it got rebuilt. So I learned that even though slowly, not even surely, but slowly, Romania is trying to rebuild.
So as per the start of the skiing sequence, we learned something about Romanian trains. We also learned something about bad luck. At the end of the skiing day, we learned that when bad luck strikes, it's not gonna end until it feels like it. Here's what happened, because this is a funny story. Like, I had more on the list to talk about, but that's enough for the lists. Let's end it on a ironic, funny, annoying story. So Brașov, where I went skiing, introduced this new bus, number 100, direct from the train station to the mountain where you ski. Because taxis, Ubers, etc. are expensive, we managed to take that bus. We got up there. We had an amazing day skiing, like you saw. And then at the end, number 100 was due to arrive at 7 p.m. However, the bus never arrived. So I got Uber out and Bolt and other apps. And in an attempt to wait a few more minutes, the price on Uber and Bolt already skyrocketed, and the cars were also really, really far away. And I no longer had time to make it to the train station at 8:30 when the last train to Bucharest was due. So eventually I had to get a taxi, which was even more expensive than the Uber. And we got to the train station on time, at which point it's announced that the train is 40 minutes late. And in the end, it was an hour and 10 minutes late. So I could have walked down half of mountain in that time. Wasted money, wasted time waiting in the cold. But you know what? Them's are the issues for this year. We leave them at the beginning. And we end this video on a high note. My Chinese zodiac is the year of the horse, and it says it's gonna be a phenomenal year for me. So to everyone sharing my zodiac sign, and not just, wishing you a happy 2025. Thanks for the follow, thanks for your support, and the subscription, and the subbing and the bell thing, and follow me on social medias with the links below. Enjoy yourselves, and your families, and your friends. See you in the next one. Laters!